Ibrahim Babalola, who is an investment analyst with AfriInvest, joins me now as we talk about some of these earnings. Yesterday, Dangote Cement reported a higher revenue of 442.09 billion naira for the third quarter, and that largely contributed to the rally that was recorded by the industrial goods. Ibrahim, thank you so much for joining me on the program. Taking a look at those results, particularly the ones that came in yesterday, we saw Dangote Cement, Seplat, Total, Livestock and Better Glass, among others, turning in their results. The results are literally pouring in. What were the positives and negatives for a stock like Dangote Cement? Let's start with the positives.
Well, for Dangote Cement, 9 months revenue was up, I think, about 21% to, as you mentioned, 442.1 billion. Well, that's when you look at a 9 months performance. But when you look at the performance for the quarter, three months, revenue was actually down by about 1.1%. The company made about 150 billion in the quarter. So when you look at the 9 month performance, it seems to see revenue up. But when you actually look at the quarter, revenue was down. Well, this was on the back of two reasons. That Dangote increased the price of the 50 kg bag of cement by, I think, about 30%. Also, the last 3 months has been categorized by rainy season, and during rainy season, demand for cement slows down as construction eases a bit. So this weighed in on the numbers. But there's still a rally in the rally in the stock yesterday, despite the 9 months PAT being down by about 15.5% to 133.5 billion naira. And this because of the positive outlook for the company. We'll probably see the impact of the price increase on the revenue going forward. The cost of sales was also up by about 67% in the 9 months period. But this will probably taper down in the future. When you look at the alternative forms of energy that Dangote has been looking at, they spent a lot of money on energy in the period on the back of gas disruptions, and the impact of that on the production numbers and the cost of sales. So the company is looking at alternatives like coal. I think you discussed that on one of your programs. Dangote is looking at using coal as source of energy generation, and so all that is going to reduce the pressure on cost of sales. So there's a positive outlook for Dangote, which is why investors are still keen into this stock.
Do you think that this will most likely continue? Because even though we seem to be having a mixed bag, some companies have actually recorded good numbers despite the macroeconomic challenges. Taking a look, for instance, at the oil and gas stocks, even though it didn't turn out so well, but the losses were not as heavy as was expected.
For oil and gas stocks, I mean, the results are not surprised. They're not surprising, especially for the downstream oil and gas companies. These companies have enjoyed. They've benefited from the impact of the partial deregulation, the bump in PMS prices. We've seen Total. I think Total's revenue was up about 38.2%. Year on year to 220 billion naira. PAT rose astronomically, I think over 300% to 11.6 billion naira. Total also benefited from a low base effect. As I think PAT and revenue declined in Q3 2015. So they also benefited from that. And investors are keen into stock. Investors love good news, love seeing impressive numbers. Total was up yesterday by over 10%. It was the best performing stock yesterday.
Ibrahim, what about Mobil and Seplat? Yes, speak to us about Mobil and Seplat.
Yeah, let's speak about Seplat. It was a different news for Seplat. Seplat's revenue was down about 52% to $202.7 million. They attributed this to the impact of the closure of the Forcados terminal, on their numbers. Also, the effect of the lower prices of crude globally. So all these hampered the numbers, and they went from a profit position to a loss position. The company recorded a loss after tax of about $97 million. And I mean, investors are already reacting to that. The stock was down about 3.8% yesterday. We expect that we'll still see sell-offs in the stock in today's trading session.
Ibrahim, thank you so much for joining me on the program, and of course shedding some light and giving us your perspectives on those companies that have posted their results. Of course, it's still earnings season, and we'll keep our eye on the numbers. Business Morning continues in just a moment. Stay with us.